Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we will be taking a deep dive into RoboCop 2, and in all honesty, was it really as bad as we remember? RoboCop 2, released in 1990 and directed by Irvin Kershner, is a science fiction action film that serves as the sequel to the highly acclaimed 1987 original RoboCop. Set in a dystopian Detroit, the movie continues the story of Alex Murphy, a police officer turned cyborg law enforcer, as he battles crime and corruption in a city overrun by violence and corporate greed. Kershner, known for his work on The Empire Strikes Back, brings a gritty and intense tone to the film, expanding on the themes of humanity, morality, and technology introduced in the first installment. While maintaining the satirical edge and brutal action of its predecessor, RoboCop 2 delves deeper into the challenges faced by its titular hero as he confronts a new wave of criminal threats and ethical dilemmas. Set in a dystopian Detroit, RoboCop 2 picks up where the original left off, with the city still ravaged by crime, corruption, and economic decay. The Omni Consumer Corporation, OCP, the powerful conglomerate responsible for creating RoboCop, continues to exploit the city's chaos for profit. Despite RoboCop's efforts to maintain order, the police force is on strike due to OCP's mismanagement, leaving the city even more vulnerable to criminal elements. Amid this turmoil, a new threat emerges in the form of Kane, a ruthless drug lord whose influence and brutality make him one of the most dangerous figures in Detroit. The story centers on RoboCop, also known as Alex Murphy, a former police officer turned cybernetic law enforcer. RoboCop is partnered with Ann Lewis, his loyal and resourceful ally from the first film, who supports him in his mission to protect the city. However, RoboCop's effectiveness is undermined by OCP's attempts to reprogram him, stripping away his individuality and human instincts in favor of a more compliant and marketable version. Meanwhile, Kane rises to power, controlling the distribution of a highly addictive drug called Nuke, which further destabilizes the city. Kane's violent tactics and growing influence make him a formidable adversary for RoboCop. OCP, dissatisfied with RoboCop's perceived limitations, devises a plan to replace him with a new, more powerful cyborg. They recruit Kane as a candidate for their next-generation law enforcer, transforming him into RoboCane, a monstrous fusion of man and machine. This new cyborg is designed to be faster, stronger, and more ruthless than RoboCop, but its lack of control and humanity makes it a dangerous liability. As RoboCop struggles with his own identity and the remnants of his human memories, he must confront the moral and ethical implications of OCP's actions, as well as the growing threat posed by Kane and his drug empire. The film builds to a climactic showdown between RoboCop and RoboCane, a battle that tests RoboCop's resolve and ingenuity. Despite the overwhelming power of his new adversary, RoboCop relies on his human instincts and tactical skills to outmaneuver RoboCane. The final confrontation is a chaotic and explosive spectacle, culminating in RoboCop's victory and the restoration of a fragile sense of order in Detroit. Through this struggle, RoboCop reaffirms his role as a protector of justice and a symbol of hope, even in a world dominated by corruption and greed. RoboCop 2 is a gripping tale of resilience, identity, and the fight for justice in a dystopian future. One of the most pivotal moments in RoboCop 2 is RoboCop's reprogramming sequence, where the Omni Consumer Corporation, OCC, attempts to alter his programming to make him more compliant and marketable. This scene underscores the film's critique of corporate control and dehumanization, as RoboCop is stripped of his individuality and reduced to a tool for profit. However, the reprogramming backfires, causing RoboCop to malfunction in absurd and humorous ways, such as issuing overly polite directives and prioritizing trivial tasks over crime fighting. This sequence not only provides dark comedy, but also reinforces the theme of RoboCop's struggle to retain his humanity amidst technological manipulation. The film's tension peaks during the intense showdown between RoboCop and Kane, the film's primary antagonist. Kane, a ruthless drug lord, is a formidable foe whose violent and chaotic nature contrasts sharply with RoboCop's disciplined and methodical approach. Their confrontation is a brutal and action-packed sequence that highlights the moral and physical challenges RoboCop faces. Kane's sheer brutality and unpredictability push RoboCop to his limits, forcing him to rely on both his advanced technology and his lingering human instincts to survive. This scene serves as a critical test of RoboCop's resolve and his ability to uphold justice in a world increasingly dominated by corruption and lawlessness. The climactic battle between RoboCop and RoboCane a monstrous cyborg version of Kane, is the film's most visually striking and action-heavy sequence. RoboCane, a grotesque fusion of man and machine, represents the ultimate perversion of the technology that created RoboCop. The battle is a chaotic and explosive spectacle, with RoboCop using his wits and combat skills to outmaneuver the far larger and more powerful RoboCane. This final confrontation not only delivers thrilling action, but also serves as a thematic culmination of the film's exploration of humanity, technology, and morality. RoboCop's victory over RoboCane symbolizes his triumph over the dehumanizing forces that seek to control him, reaffirming his role as a protector of justice and a symbol of hope in a dystopian world. RoboCop 2 delves deeply into the theme of corporate greed and corruption, portraying a dystopian Detroit where the omni-consumer corporation OCC prioritizes profit over public welfare. The film satirizes the unchecked power of corporations as the OCC manipulates RoboCop's programming to make him more marketable, disregarding his effectiveness as a crime fighter. This critique extends to the city's broader societal decay, where corporate interests exacerbate crime and poverty, creating a vicious cycle of exploitation. The OCC's creation of RoboCane, a monstrous cyborg designed to replace RoboCop, further underscores the dangers of corporate overreach, as it highlights the ethical bankruptcy of using advanced technology for profit-driven agendas rather than the public good. RoboCop's internal conflict between his human and machine sides is a central theme that adds depth to his character. Throughout the film, RoboCop grapples with his identity, torn between his programmed directives and his lingering human emotions. This struggle is most evident during his reprogramming, where the OCC attempts to erase his humanity, only to inadvertently highlight its importance. RoboCop's journey is one of reclaiming his individuality and moral compass, as he resists becoming a mere tool of corporate or bureaucratic control. His ability to balance his human instincts with his machine efficiency ultimately defines his heroism, illustrating the film's message that true strength lies in the integration of humanity and technology, rather than the suppression of one by the other. The film also offers a stark commentary on addiction and the war on drugs, particularly through the character of Kane and his drug empire. Kane's narcotic, Nuke, symbolizes the destructive impact of addiction on individuals and communities, while the city's failed attempts to combat the drug trade reflect the futility of punitive approaches to social problems. The film critiques the cyclical nature of the war on drugs, showing how it perpetuates violence and corruption without addressing the root causes of addiction. By portraying RoboCop as a figure who seeks to restore order and justice, the film suggests that meaningful change requires addressing systemic issues rather than relying on brute force or technological quick fixes. This nuanced perspective adds a layer of social critique to the film's action-packed narrative, making it a thought-provoking exploration of contemporary issues. Upon its release in 1990, RoboCop 2 received a mixed, critical reception. While some praised its action sequences, dark humor, and satirical edge, others felt it lacked the depth and originality of the first film. Critics noted that the sequel leaned more heavily into violence and spectacle, which, while entertaining, sometimes overshadowed the social commentary that made the original RoboCop so impactful. Despite the divided critical response, the film performed well at the box office, grossing over $45 million domestically, which was a solid figure for its time. Its commercial success demonstrated the enduring appeal of the RoboCop character and the franchise's ability to draw audiences with its blend of sci-fi action and biting satire. RoboCop 2 has left a lasting mark on the RoboCop franchise and pop culture. While it may not have achieved the same iconic status as the original, it expanded the lore of the series and introduced memorable elements, such as the menacing RoboCane, which became a fan favorite. The film's exploration of corporate greed, addiction, and the human-machine dichotomy continued to resonate with audiences, ensuring its place in discussions about the franchise's thematic depth. Over time, RoboCop 2 has gained a cult following, appreciated for its bold storytelling and ambitious action sequences. Its influence can be seen in subsequent entries in the franchise, as well as in broader pop culture, where its critique of technology and society remains relevant. The film's legacy endures as a testament to the enduring appeal of RoboCop as a symbol of justice in a flawed and chaotic world. RoboCop 2 is a bold and ambitious sequel that, while not without its flaws, delivers a compelling mix of action, satire, and social commentary. Its exploration of corporate greed, addiction, and the struggle between humanity and technology adds depth to the franchise, even as it leans into more over-the-top violence and spectacle. For fans of the original RoboCop, this sequel offers a darker and more chaotic take on the dystopian world of Detroit, with memorable characters and set pieces that leave a lasting impression. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the series, RoboCop 2 is worth watching or re-watching for its unique blend of sci-fi thrills and thought-provoking themes. Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know what you think about this iconic chapter in the RoboCop saga.